Well, hello, brothers and sisters. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, bringing you my daily diary update. What did I do from June the 5th, which was a Thursday, through Sunday, June the 8th of 2025? Well, I was basically on the road in Colorado. I'll tell you about it. On a Thursday morning, the 5th, I got up early, was doing some work at my desk, and I'll tell you some of the topics I dealt with via email, both there and later in the day. But I got picked up at 6:30 a.m. By one of our staff members, and then we proceeded to pick up our executive director, and we headed to the Orlando airport, doing some initial work and planning in the car and some conversations work-related, got to the airport and boarded a flight for Denver, Colorado, and did some phone work before getting on the plane. Flew to Colorado and working on my computer, and among the email topics, dealing with communication with a new Catholic journal that we're going to write for. The imagery of the unborn child, getting that out there far and wide, even more than we have already. Some work in regard to communication with donors, special notes that we send them, and recruitment of monthly pledgers. Work on our Radio Maria program, approval for a parish fax, work about my reinstatement to priesthood, travel plans, and interview requests from various media. We landed in Denver, caught a connecting flight, but when we were on that connecting flight to go to Grand Junction, there was a long delay, and we ended up being 4 hours before we took off, and one reason after another. You know how that can be. But we were having productive work conversations in the meantime, and getting some work done on the computer and things I had to read, etc., and just resting a little bit. When I was there, before we boarded that flight, I did have a half-hour conference call with some of our administrative team and some of our advisors, and it had to do with the request we're making of Pope Leo to allow me to exercise priestly functions. When we got finished with that long delay, we landed in Grand Junction, Colorado, and were picked up by some colleagues, and we went right to a restaurant for some dinner, where we met up with some folks that collaborate with us over the years and do public relations work. And we were getting ready for this big Christian music festival to take place the next 2 days, where they always want to emphasize a pro-life message and theme, and that's why they bring us in there from Priests for Life. But we settled into the hotel after dinner and went to bed early. And then Friday the 6th, now we were 2 hours behind our office. We were on Mountain Time. Our office is on Eastern. So I connected with the staff briefing at 6:30 in the morning and had a lot of work to do with them. Janet was on as well, and we had a meeting right after the briefing in terms of the week's broadcast schedule, putting everything in place that we want to broadcast and bring to you on these programs and these postings. We also had various other meetings with staff people right after that briefing, our social media, our communications team, our website team, doing various plans for the work of the day. Some of the email topics also I had to deal with were plans for upcoming trips. Oklahoma, the Oklahoma March for Life was going to be the next day, and I always send a message to those state marches, so we made plans for getting my taped message out to Oklahoma. Approval of other email blasts, and also some response to priests who are asking for some helpful information. After I did all that, had some breakfast, and then we were picked up by our friends to go over to the site of the concert. Then this was at a big open field park, and we've been there before. We met together with the leaders of the event and just helped get everything ready, and then we had our materials there. They gave us an exhibit table. We unpacked and set up all our materials on the table so that people attending this Christian festival would be able to get our pro-life message, and they very much appreciate it. It's a crowd that's very much with us, but they want to be equipped. They want to be informed even more on the crucial issue of abortion and how to stop it. So we were there, and we greeted people all day long as they started to arrive at the concert, and they came up to our table. We answered questions. We had conversations. This lasted for the entire day and well into the night as well. Of course, there was an evening set of performances by different well-known Christian bands, and we were there meanwhile speaking the pro-life message to everyone who came along. The next day was very much the same. Some early work at my desk at the hotel in the morning. This was Saturday, June the 7th, working on some travel plans for upcoming trips, and also in correspondence with one of the pro-life attorneys about a constitutional interpretation of the right to life, and read through some documentation about that and communicated with him about that. But basically then we were over at the fairgrounds, and we had, I should mention that on the previous night, on Friday night, there was this just gigantic hailstorm that came through the conference ground. So we couldn't have the concluding part of the concert because it was one of those storms, you've heard of these golf ball size hailstones. Well, that's what it was. We witnessed that in person, and it came down in a very, very strong way. We were underneath a tent, and the tent was strong enough to withstand these golf ball hailstones, but it was pretty intense. So that was an interesting thing to live through. And then, like I say, this next day it was much better weather, and we had interaction with people all day long from all different parts of Colorado and from different states too. We also interacted with some of our friends who run the Colorado-based pregnancy centers, and they had exhibit tents as well, and we connected with them. And also one of the state leaders was there with a table of her own. We did all that, and the day came to a conclusion pretty late as we stayed with our friends who were organizing the event as they were cleaning up. And then finally, Sunday the 8th, we in the morning went to a local church for Mass after having had some breakfast. And then from the church went right to the airport and took the flights back, first from Grand Junction to Denver. A little bit of a tight connection, like happened in the past too. They can't seem to get there on time, and so we had to hurry to our gate, but we made it, and then we did various work on the plane. Janet and I had a lot of planning to do, a lot of scheduling work, project planning, just a lot of discussion, and we went through a number of things step by step. Some of the things I worked on my computer had to do with the pro-life leadership meetings that we lead, travel meetings in preparation for upcoming trips, and also the Life at Conception Act, which has been introduced in Congress. And the people behind it were asking for my support on that as well, which of course we do support that. And then we finally got back to Orlando. Unreasonable amount of time, about 8 in the evening, one of our staff people picked us up, drove back to Priests for Life. While we were on that road trip from the airport to the office, we got on the phone with our staff member who handles our scheduling of upcoming trips, and we had a travel meeting with him. Janet and I did, and we were giving him instructions about plans that needed to be made for some of the upcoming Priests for Life and pro-life travels. Got back to the office, settled in very eagerly, did a couple more hours of work, settling in, unpacking, catching up, see what was on my desk and in my mailbox, etc., and then went to bed. So that's what I did from the 5th to the 8th of June of 2025. Thanks for following these updates. We'll talk to you soon.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alveda King, board member of Priests for Life. More money is being spent in America to kill babies in the womb than to save them. Together, we need to change that, and today I want to invite you to support our work at Priests for Life. Why ours rather than other groups? Because We have a unique team that helps lead in every arena of the fight against abortion, and we activate the churches where you find people who are most likely to get involved in that fight. To awaken a pastor about abortion is to awaken thousands of people he serves. We do not receive church funding or government grants. We rely on you for individual donations. We have a very high evaluation among charities and top security on our donation site, prolifegift.org. You can go there for a one-time gift or to become a monthly donor, or you can call us at 321-500-1000.